So, hello everyone. Today we are going to discuss method overriding. What is method overriding? So, in object oriented programming, it is a language feature that allows a subclass or child class to provide a specific implementation of a method that is already provided by one of its superclass or parent class. Basically, it is when a child class have their own implementation of a method from their parents' class. Let's take a look at this diagram. So as you can see, uh, here is a shape the shape class, which is the parent class. And the shape class has a draw method. And as you can see, square, circle, and hexagon inherits shape. So therefore, square, circle, hexagon is a shape. Since they are different types of shapes, square class has their own implementation of the draw method. Circle method draws a circle one, and hexagon method draws six-sided shapes. So that is the overview of what is method overriding is. So let's take a look this in code. So here, so let us have a private string name with a constructor. Let's make a constructor and a method called public draw shape public void draw, and it prints. Okay, it implements your own method. So uh, draw method at shape class. Now let us try to extend the shape class. So class square extends shape. So let's just constructor there. We are not the constructor is not the focus of our topic, but we can discuss it later on. So let's try to override. Uh, this is what we call the annotation. So basically, it is a way of saying that, hey Java, we are going to override a method from our parent class. This is not required, but this is highly recommended for readability purposes and so that the code will be consistent. So public void draw uh, draw method at square class. So let's try to have an experiment and change this draw method to something else like draw square. As you can see, we see an error because you are not overriding. See what the error is? Method does not override from its superclass. So it always checks need to override. So class, another class, circle, extends, shape, and let's make a constructor. There's an easy way to do that. So constructor, override the method, override. Public void draw, that line, draw method at circle class. Let's uh let's try to this. And now when we try to print this one, so let's make a shape, 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 a random shape, circle, circle, new circle, circle. uh, square, square, use square, square. Spelling. So this. Okay. Now let's try to run the method. Shape that draw. Now shape that draw method, since this the shape variable is a shape type of class, this should run the draw method from the shape class. So this should run this one. This go. Circle draw should output the draw method from the circle class. So semicolon. Then the square that draw to draw a method from the square class. Square, so this should draw. Now let us try to print and see what is the output. Okay, as you can see, our output is correct. The draw, the shape class called the draw method from the shape class, and the circle class, and the square class, and so on. So why is method overriding is important? Well, sometimes you want to put your sometimes you want to put your objects into a data structure. So a type of object into a data structure. Let's say, for example, we have 10 shapes and we want to put them into an array list. But in this code, we only have three. So let's do that. Array list, shape, shape, shapes. What's new? Array list. So let's add arrays as list. This is a simple way to add objects in your array list. So shape, circle, square. Now shape. Now by doing this, so what we're going to do, we're going to iterate, loop through each object of the array list and draw and call the draw method, and you will see of the power of overriding. So shapes for int I is equals to 0, the basic concept of looping for loop. I is less than 2 shapes, that size I plus plus. So shape that get I. This one. Oops, that draw. So we will try to do this. Oops, wait, let's comment this up. And you will see this is one of the power of uh, overriding a method. So it may be not tedious, but for example, we have 1,000 lines of code, 1,000 shapes that you want to draw. Do you really want to write it one by one? So I probably not. So that's why we do this. So let's do another experiment. So what if we change this to net override? Then let's draw something. Draw square. Notice that the square, this one will change to a shape class. See, shape class. Since the square method did not override the method draw from the parent class, the default method will be called. So again, let's undo it. So there are other. So that is one of the most important aspects of why a reason why method overriding is important. Another, since this is Java, there are lots of methods you can override. So let's for example, we want to print shape. We want to display a random shape or a circle or a square. So we can, so for example, you have a getters. Yep. So shape that get. We can do it by doing shape that get name, and it will print the name. A random shape out circle that get name. It will print the name of the circle. Square that out that square that get name. So this is how we get this a random shape. Their names. But what if you want to? So but what if we add another fields in our main class? So for example, private and uh, string, private and number of shapes, number of sides, int number of sides. So is that number of sides plus number of sides. Okay. Uh, okay, then let's 4. Since a shape has 4 sides, then let's do 4. Oops, wait, sorry. Then a circle has no sides, so let's do it as 0. And okay. So what if we want to print them right away? Uh, any number. Let's, for example, 10 shapes. This has 10 sides. So what if we want to print shape right away and we want to display the number of sides per shape? It would be very tedious to, let's put another method, getter method. It would be very tedious for a programmer to say shape that get name plus shape that get number of sides. Let's do it a print for space. We can do this by doing this, by calling each individual fields from their class. However, it is very tedious, especially if you're going to do it with a lot of class. So we want to print it in one go. For example, shape, and you want to print shape and you want to display the name of the shape and the number of sides. When we print this, what should be the output? See? And now, as you can see, Java is providing something that does not make sense. A random letters, a random digits, which we don't understand. So this is what we call the string representation of the object. So each class has a method that is what you call the toString method, that is a string representation of an object. So it is one of the most important methods to override in each of the class. So since this is override, we will include this in our topic. So we will override public to string, public string to string method from the java.lang class, and return the string representation of the object string. So string return string that format. Let's say shape name of the shape, a placeholder, yes. Then number of sides, placeholder. So let's put get name, then get number of sides. As you can see, we have only implemented it here, but every one of its subclass will implement the toString method. So what would be the output here? The output should be name. So a random shape name, a random shape, a random shape, sides, number of number of sides, stop it. Number of sides, return. This should be the output and so on. So let's do it. As you can see, name, a random shape, a circle has 0 sides, and a square has 4 sides. So as you can see, that is the power of method overriding. Again, let's review. Method overriding is when a subclass or a child class provide a specific implementation of a method that is already provided by one of its superclass of parent class. There are lots of built-in methods that you can override in Java, but we will not discuss it since this is out of topic. But just to show you, there are tons. The object method, the hash code method, the equals method, and the clone method, and the finalize method. One of the most important part here is the equals and the hash code. Both of these allows us to sort objects of a class. So let's, for example, we want to sort a class by its number of sides. We need to implement the equals method and so on. So again, that I guess that is all about overriding method. We will discuss other topics and later on. So I guess that is all. Thank you and have a nice day.